It was windy and warm out on the prairie by Wardlow. There were antelope wandering around, and not far from them, horses playing around in a pasture. It was the kind of day you often get on the prairie out here. A little bit windy, a little bit sunny, a little bit overcast. I'd come out here in late afternoon hoping that the sky would clear. Closer to the city it was completely overcast, and the forecast for out here was pretty good. The evening was supposed to be lovely, clear, and warm. But as afternoon wore on, that seemed less and less likely. But like this little butterfly, I hung on and hoped for the best. The reason I'd come out this way in the first place was to photograph the moon rising over the Badlands. The dinosaur bone-studded hills, the sagebrush out on the plains, the cottonwood forest down along the Red Deer River, pretty little Berry Creek. This country around Steveville is absolutely gorgeous. Add a full moon to these berries and sunflowers. Perfect. But as sunset kissed the Badlands, the sky was still full of clouds. The moon moment was gone, but harvest is on. So as I headed west, I stopped to shoot some of that. I love this time of year. But the further west I went, the clearer the sky became, and soon the moon was out from behind the clouds. I missed the moonrise, but I got the moonlight. Bright as it was still too dark for video. But in a still photograph with a long exposure, night turned into day. Moonlight is, after all, just reflected sunlight. So the shadows look correct, and the sky, although studded with stars, is still blue. The moonlight makes the countryside look like it does around, say, 10 o'clock in the morning. Clouds blur in the long exposures, but these horses stood still, and the moon mimicked the sun glinting off this irrigation canal. Fields already harvested glowed in the moonlight. I lost track of time and figured it must be, 1 o'clock in the morning. Turned out it was not even midnight yet. Darkness comes a lot earlier now in those short summer nights. They're pretty much done. But that just means more time out there with the moon. And what a great way to spend the night, out exploring the countryside in the lunar light.